and welcome to my channel. It's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147, and it's time to continue on with making my spare storage pretty. So I've been doing this for the last couple of weeks, so hi and welcome if you're new. What I'm doing is I use these photo boxes for storing my spare diamonds in case they're ever needed for, you know, a painting that's missing some, or I do also have an ongoing project with a cross-stitch chart where I'm using my spare diamonds to create the image. So all I've paid for is the chart and a blank canvas. But what I'm doing at the moment is I've used this spare storage for a good few years. So I have the card with the DMC number. Now this just used to be on with a sticker. I've since made it a pretty sticker, and that's been one of the changes that I've made as I've gone along. I then have the bags where I have, at the moment, I just have a plain round sticker or a square sticker. They used to all be square and I just used to put the letter R or the letter S after it. There's a few different ways that I've sort of adapted it as I've gone along, just to make it that little bit nicer, that little bit more compact. All that sort of stuff has sort of changed as I've gone along, but the actual system itself is still working perfect, and it would still work perfect from my initial setup. This is just a personal preference to make things a little bit prettier and a little bit nicer, and that's the reason I'm doing this next stage. So what I'm doing at the moment is I am moving my diamonds into these thicker 4mm grip seal bags that are 2 inches by 3 inches. These were bought for me by Diana, and they're really nice, really nice quality. What I'm also doing is I'm replacing my stickers with the new ones from my shop, which is just a round one with a little diamond and the DMC number and a square one. And I'm also limiting myself to 1 bag for each. I may end up having to add a bag for AB diamonds. I'm not sure. At the moment I keep AB diamonds separate. It may happen, it may not, time will tell. But I say I am currently just sort of revamping my storage little bit by little bit, row by row, with you guys each week at the moment. And I'm trying to get it a little bit more compact. What I'm also doing is the likes of now, when I get to the 469, I actually don't have any spares for those, but I'm still creating the bags so that when it comes to de-kitting a kit that has that number, I have a bag ready. So 470, I actually don't have any. Plus, I don't particularly want to keep hold of sticker sheets with some numbers used and some numbers not. I think that would just drive me batty. I would rather go through the sheets and use them completely and get them all away. So yeah, the purpose of this one is really to move the diamonds over into the newer, thicker bags and put on my nice, pretty DMC labels, while also, say, breaking down the amount that I store. So I already have some 453 left over. These bags do fit a little bit less, but these are 2.25 inches wide, these bags, and because they're thinner they bunch up a bit more and let you fit a bit more in. But that's fine. I say I'm trying to limit myself how many I have, because 1 bag should still be full enough for any painting that maybe I run out of some diamonds. I should have enough. There are places to purchase them if I needed to, and I do have 2 cross stitch patterns on the go that I am doing as diamond paintings, and therefore I sort of feel as though I've done that a little bit. I don't think I'm going to be doing another one. It could change, it may change, but it's already been over a year of me doing the first one. So at the moment I'm happy to limit what I have, to share the spares that I no longer need with people that do need them, and I'm hoping that they will all go in one box, which will mean that I can share them easily, and I can go through there's a Facebook group in the UK. I think there's a Facebook group in most countries. The UK one is called Got Diamonds UK, and people ask on there. So once I've finished organising my storage, my plan is to go through that website and see if there is any diamonds that I have. I just want them all in one place to be able to do that. So yeah, you're basically catching me putting new labels on these new baggies. This bag's got remnants of something on it. I think we're good though. It's just something from the manufacturing process, I think. I actually don't need that one, I need this one. So yeah, this whole process, there is, I can't remember how many DMC numbers it is exactly. I think there is 453 that are used in diamond painting, not including any extra AB ones. So I know Diamond Art Club, for example, have separate numbers for their ABs. There is a conversion chart I very recently found out that tells you what the numbers that they use for their ABs, what they are in DMC. So I'm a little bit unsure as to whether to have ABs separate or whether to start mixing them in with my DMCs, and whether to have something that is, you know, an AB packet for them to go in. I'm not quite sure on that front yet, because I don't think I would look in my spares for ABs. I think I would more add my ABs to a painting that doesn't have them and use some of my spare ABs that way. So I think while I still may number them up, oh, am I going to get them all in this? While I still may number them up, I think I'm going to number them up but not keep them in here, and then I can look through that to swap them out if I need to. That's quite a full bag. So I've got quite a, but look how pretty is that? And it stands up quite straight. You may notice I have sort of this piece of paper that I call the baggy insert, and it helps these thinner bags to stand up. Now, when these thick bags are empty, they can still sort of slide down, but I find that only happens if there's nothing behind them from stopping them from sliding. So even these plain bags that are in here aren't sliding down because this is packed, you know, not too tightly, but quite nicely. Whereas this at the back, when I first came to this tub, the ones at the back had slid down a little bit, but that's because there was a place for them to go. Whereas I found with these, quite often when I was going through and taking ones out and kitting up, they would just slide. So they would actually more fold in on each other than anything else. It may change. It may find that I may find that I do need to put the baggy inserts into these bags, and if so, that's fine, because I'm keeping them. So I'm going to have plenty, and we'll see what happens as it goes along. And I forgot to get these out already. Now, the reason I'm sort of taking these out of the box normally before I do this is I know I did use a few of these bags when de-kitting a project a few weeks ago, before I sort of decided to do the whole revamp with the pretty stickers and everything else, I had already put a few diamonds in those bags. See, that one was sliding down then because it had nothing to stop it. But the closer I get, this row seems to have quite a few numbers of diamonds that I don't have spares for. So there's going to be quite a few that I am just numbering up the bags and putting them in, and say that does cause them to slide a little bit because there's nothing stopping it. But the further along that I go, the better off it will become. And these bags also have a short side and a long side, and that's what I keep checking before I put the labels on, that the short side is at the front. Just makes it a little bit easier for me when it comes to de-kitting in the future. And I do really like these bags in this way. It does make me smile when I'm de-kitting, when I'm working on these numbers in my first boxes. It's just got that little level of a little bit more excitement, and I think it is just because it's pretty and organised. I don't know how I'm going to do getting them down into 2 boxes. I was kind of hoping I could get my spare diamonds down into 2 boxes. I'm not sure how it's going to work. I know Ashley posted a picture on the Facebook group of hers in 2, and they did look quite close together, and I'm not sure with the amount of diamonds that I am putting in bags whether it's going to work. I guess time will tell. But I think this is going to take quite a few videos, because I've been doing sort of 1 row in my diamonds each video that I do, and I haven't even got through the first sheet of DMC numbers yet. There is 2 and a bit sheets of DMC numbers, so they're available in the store, in the shop on my website, which is 4kids@147.com. It will be linked down below, but these are available in the store, and it's 2 full sheets of DMC, and then there's a small sheet of DMC, but you do get plain with diamonds stickers. So if maybe you prefer to keep all of your diamonds, you might have 2 bags of a certain colour. You can always write yourself an extra label for your spare, or what I often use them for is when I'm kitting up a project, or when I'm doing the grid on my canvases. So I like to divide my canvases up when it's possible. I like to divide them up and let the Tiny Decisions app decide what square I'm going to work on, and I like to use these stickers for that. So there's a few different things I use them for. Kitting up, if I don't have, say, an inventory sheet to make a sticker out of, and I need to actually write the labels myself, I like to use these stickers. I use them for all sorts now they're available. Now I have them in my house. They are used for all sorts of stuff. Okay. Oh, excuse me. So I've nearly finished this second bag of 100. Is it? Yeah, it will be. So we're definitely working through it. Definitely going through it bit by bit, because that is the second bag of 100 that I've gone through, which means I've probably done about 100 stickers, which is probably about right. A little bit less because there is a few that I've sort of done already that are mixed in within the box. But Diana was kind enough, she sent me a pack of 1,000 of these thick bags, so I may move them over to the likes of my coloured diamonds, my special diamonds. I may make those bags useful for them as well. I've got a little bit of static on this one, so I'm just trying to get them into the actual bag so that when I seal them up, well, that's a bit of rubbish. One there, get off the little grip part. There we go. You can always pop, you know, a tumble dryer sheet or something in the bags to help with static. And I like to always put my round bag in front of my square bag. That's just the way I've always done it. There is no particular fancy reason as to why. It's what I've always done. More often than not, apart from when I've not been tidy putting them away, I have put my round in front of my square. So I'm just making sure that I do that on each one. I need a second bag. Oh, do you know, it can be so confusing. There's only 2 bags and I can still confuse myself. I think it's probably because I'm too busy chatting at the same time. But how are you guys getting on with your spare stuff? In fact, look, I've just done it. There's one there that's already in a bag. I obviously didn't look. How many people are shouting? So this must be one that I must have de-kitted into a bag, into one of the posher bags in the past. So let's see what this sticker's like for coming off, because these square stickers that I used are nowhere near as forgiving as my stickers. They like to leave a bit more residue. I was trying to see if I could, they're a bit like blue tack. Well, that worked. A bit like blue tack, and I got the rest of the sticky off. But these are quite forgiving. They stay stuck, but they do allow you to lift them up. And there we go. That's easier. If I'd have noticed sooner, it'd have been even easier. Okay, 519. Check my little flaps are at the front. So yeah, how are you getting on with your spare storage? I know some people don't save theirs, and that's perfectly fine. It is a personal decision whether you do or don't. I think those that have had paintings before where there's not been, they've run out of a colour, I think they're more likely to save their diamonds. Maybe it's a personality thing. Some people I know just can't be bothered with that process, and that's perfectly fine too. Some people throw them all into a tub. They just throw them all in a tub and that's it. They class that as done and they're all mixed. Some people throw them out. Some people just throw them into a box or a tub, as if they want one, they'll hunt their way through them, and that's fine. I say every one of those options is fine. I'm just going to pull these out and put them in the lid. Because they're all starting to sort of slouch different ways now. So let's try putting them in the lid. And stop fighting with slouching diamonds. Let's see if this will work. Oh, we've still got quite a few to do for this one. I think this row was very much crammed full. There's no particular set amount that I'm putting in each row. I'm just going until they feel like they're full but movable. And that's the other thing I like about this system, is I started off with 2 boxes. I did a DMC card for every one. Again, my preference, you don't have to. You can create DMC cards as you go. I personally created a DMC card for each and every one. I didn't create bags for each one, as you can probably tell by the fact that there's no bags in some of them. I created bags as and when I had the diamonds. And then I did find that I started off with 2 boxes, but then I did end up with too many diamonds. So one of the videos I've actually got on this spare storage is me expanding it, and that's where I created another box and I moved them all along. But the benefit was, it was just a matter of lifting hold of some and scooting them across. But again, on my website under diamond painting videos, there is a list of all the well, not all the videos, most of the videos that I've done on creating this storage are listed there. These sort of last few weeks of redoing aren't on there yet, but I might put them on there as well. But yeah, the creating of the storage, how I originally did it, a revamp of it is there. There's about 3 videos I think on this storage at the moment. Is there any in that? Okay, so there's nothing in that one. I'm not quite sure whether I've used them, whether I've passed them on to somebody. Maybe it went in my other Heaven and Earth designs and I kept the bag. I don't know. But there's no diamonds to tip into another bag, so let's get it out of the way. And I do reuse all of these bags. I do, once I've finished these videos, I do peel all the stickers off and keep them all together, and they can be used then for me to share diamonds with other people and pass them over, and that's the idea. Oh look, they're 2 completely different colours. That's another thing people ask, you know, in relation to the dye lots. There are different dye lots from sellers to seller. I put them all in the same bag. I mean, they are completely different, but there is still 2 different types in with that one. The reason I put them all together is if a painting was to be short of any DMC numbers, you know, the seller that I've got is not necessarily going to match the, you know, the 1 or multiple diamonds that I actually have in my spares, if their dye lot is slightly different. So I would just tip, so for example these, I would tip them into a big tray and I would just pick out the ones that are closest to the dye lot I have on that particular painting that needs some diamonds. So for the purposes of now, they can all go together. Get rid of that little bit that's not a diamond. They can all go together, and then when it comes to it, that's when I can look. So I've still got a bit more room that I can push these up. So 550, that's another popular colour in the diamond painting world. I have quite a few diamond paintings that have the number 550. 310s, I definitely ended up with some spares. I don't have any of these in here in square. That is probably because I have it in my Heaven and Earth designs. So if I'm using one of the square diamonds with my cross stitch pattern, all those diamonds are kept separate until my cross stitch pattern doesn't need them anymore. Just to make sure that I have enough spares for that. They're kept in a completely separate place. It's 552, I'm pretty sure I've had that number as well, but it was probably in a square painting, so it's probably in my Heaven and Earth designs. And whenever I finish that, I'm sure my spare storage will need scooting along a bit, because I have a feeling that I won't have enough space to fit those spare diamonds in, even limiting them, been waffling for ages, even limiting them to 1 bag per colour. There's 230 odd colours in my Heaven and Earth designs, so at a minimum that's probably 230 odd bags that I'll need to transfer diamonds into. So I think that might expand my storage, which is what kind of makes me think I'm not going to get it into 2 boxes. It would be nice. Maybe I'll get it into 3 with my, I mean at the moment I use 3, but maybe I'll get it into 3 with my special diamonds in the same box maybe. I'm not quite sure. I'm going to keep pondering exactly how, you know, I want to store them and how many photo boxes I really want and for what. At the moment I have 3 for my spare diamonds. I have a small A5 box for my specials, which isn't full because I only keep a limited amount of bags for my specials. And then I have a full-size photo box which just houses the diamonds, the spare diamonds for my Heaven and Earth designs, which is in no way pretty and organised. They're pretty much just thrown in when it comes to that one. But yeah, when I get to the end of this process, I'll have a sort of a think and a final decision made depending on how much space I have left. In an ideal world, what I would have liked was I would have liked to have 2 boxes for my spares, which, as I say, I don't think is going to happen. 2 boxes for my spares, kept my small A5, or I say A5, it's half the size of this. Kept 2 of those for, 1 of those for my specials. Kept a photo box for my Heaven and Earth designs with the idea that that would eventually go completely once I've done it, and then have one that houses all my extras that are to give away, so that I can, you know, periodically, once a week or so, go onto the Facebook group for people that need diamonds and just go through and have the photo box in front of me and be able to flick through and go, yeah, I've got this. And that would have been a complete setup of a new box with all DMC numbers. But they would only have bags with them when needed. But I don't think that's going to happen. Okay, is that full? Yeah, that's full enough. So we're now starting on the next row. So far I've not saved myself a full row, which is what makes me think I'm not going to get 3 boxes into 2, is I'm still on box 1. Now I do have one colour in my 3rd box that takes up about this much room, just with the spare diamonds I have. So I'm not giving up hope. I'm just facing a little bit of reality that it just might not kind of happen, people. Just might not happen. Oh, I've not got many of these, but I have got some, and that's what counts. I think I'll be glad at the moment when I get through one sheet. I think you're going to be in for the ride for this for a few weeks. So somebody did ask me, rather than, you know, sitting in front of the TV and doing it, how I probably would have set it up to do it on video, and I was like, well, yeah, that breaks it up for me. I'm more than game for sorting out my spares on video, and it's sort of replaced my whip and chat. Sorry, I am going to keep trying to put some whip and chats in, but with the kitting ups and the de-kittings of videos of diamond paintings and the comparison, my comparison of the same image done in 5 different sizes is sort of taking up all my other video slots through the week. Some weeks I think, oh, what am I going to video? And then the next week it's like, oh, I've got too many. All depends on how much diamond painting I've managed to get done. But yeah, the comparison video where I compared the same photo, the same image in 5 different sizes is due up tomorrow. I haven't yet filmed it, but it is due up tomorrow. I film on the weekend, so this is the first video that's due up for today. So I film this first, and then I might need to see what the plans are for the rest of the household for the day, because to compare those 5, I think I might need to take over the conservatory for a little while. See if they have plans to go out before I kick them out. If there are plans to nip out, essential shopping mainly, if there are plans to nip out, then of course I'll work around that and get the video filmed, but probably doesn't work weekends, same as I don't, so I can't wait for him to go to work. Okay, 597. That's got something on the bar. I'll fight with that later. Just had something from the manufacturing process stuck on the bottom of the bag, and it wasn't a pretty colour, so I'll throw that over there and deal with it later. That's a later problem. For now, I've still got loads of diamond bags to sort out for this one. I've got all the 600s yet to do, and I'm only just finishing up the 500s. So it gets up to about here. Though by the looks of it, I've done one of them already. I think I de-kitted one the other week when I'd already started this process, and it was a new colour. So because it was a new colour, I decided it may as well go in its new bag. And the process had finished getting sorted when I came up to it. So we'll have a look. So 598. You can see this pile of bags every Saturday, because so far I've always filmed these on a Saturday to go up on a Saturday. I keep trying to get ahead, you know, maybe do another session of it and film the next week's video, but it never happens because life's too busy at the moment. What we seem to spend our lives doing at the moment is printing, mainly these DMC stickers for the shop. Spend a lot of time printing and a lot of time arguing with the printer. There's a bit more wastage than we'd like, but we're getting there. We're getting there. So yeah, so I think it's just going to become sort of a Saturday thing for me to do these as sort of the first video that I create each weekend, ready for the upcoming week. There's one there that's stuck. And yeah, if you want to join me with your spare storage and getting your spare storage organised, by all means do. I enjoy the company while I'm doing it. At least then I envision you sort of, you know, me talking to you guys when I'm doing it. I hope so, otherwise I'm talking to myself and that's a whole different ball game. So yeah, I just envision talking to you guys, and some of you will be diamond painting, some of you might be sorting out your spares, but it is a long process. It is a long process in regards to the initial setting up. It can take time. It's not horrible time, I don't find it is anyway, but I love organisation, so I don't find this tedious and horrible, and you know, it's one of those things that you want to end. Maybe doing the accounts is, but doing this spare storage isn't, and that's because I see it becoming pretty and nice and all standing up nicely and having a space for all the diamonds, and that works for me. It may not work for everybody, so oh, those two are stuck together. They've managed to get sealed together, so I don't think they're savable. You could potentially, it's like Siamese twins, so you could still use that bag, but it's sealed to the one next to it, so let's move that out of the way. This is why it's fine. We have 1,000. and 1,000 is plenty for the amount I need to have 2 per DMC number. 1 for rounds and 1 for squares. And that's, I think, also partly why, because these bags were gifted to me, and these bags I think they ship from the States, Amazon from the States. Rather than, you know, it's not like I could just pick up another 100 of them. I want to know that where I want these nicer bags to be, i.e. more my long-term storage. So my spares storage, this is more long-term. You know, the last time many of these diamonds saw the light of day was when the painting was completed, and that could have been up to 3 years ago. Apart from that, they've only seen the light of day when I've reorganised my storage. This is definitely sort of, you know, a long-term home for many of these diamonds. So, yeah, I want to know that the things that I'm storing and using more long term, and in turn, I may well be using these bags more often, because of course they get opened and closed every time I add more diamonds to them. And because of that, I want, you know, the nicer quality bags to be used for this. So it will be nice to have them all laid out and them all to, you know, have their place. And then I still have plenty of these bags, say, for giving diamonds away, for, you know, having a bag to put when I do a special diamond project. I don't tend to kit them up. I tend to just do them colour by colour, and then any spares get thrown in here before I put them away into my special diamonds. It's sort of like a stopgap for them, a place for them to live. And yeah, they will definitely get used. And if not, my daughter has roped a few of her friends into diamond painting now, so I can always send them that way, more than likely with a few of the diamond painting goodies, to save them buying them. So they'll definitely get used over time. But these are they're just pretty, and that's what I like, that they're pretty. Okay, 606. Now, in fact, this whole process would be easier if you're setting it up from scratch, because you could, you know, set up your tabs and your bags and whatever else and do all of that first in stages. So you could do it in blocks maybe. So if you had the DMC cardstock and stickers, you could, you know, there's 9 sheets in the DMC stickers, so you could potentially put your stickers on for a full set of DMC and then create your bags to go with it, and then move on to the next one, and then only add your diamonds after, if they're currently stored in various different sizes, and just pretend that you're dekitting. And you could dekit in stages too. And you could dekit in a few stages. It really is a personal preference on how you do it, but I love this system. The system I initially set up was the baseball card system, where you get the plastic wallets for baseball cards. And oh, we've got a couple here that don't have any diamonds. Yeah, and it's sort of like a binder wallet with, I think it's about 9 different sections for you to slide in baseball cards. And they do take this size of baggie. In fact, that's what made me buy the size baggie I did, was for them to fit into these baseball card sleeves. But I soon found that it didn't work for me, and that was partly because 310 already I had more than would fit in that sleeve, and bear in mind when I first did it I didn't have many diamonds at all. I'd only done about 3 or 4 paintings at that time, so 310 were already far too many to fit in it. And I also found that because it was set up in sections of 9, that there was a few sections that were either at the top corner of the binder or in a bottom corner that I had diamonds for, that made that part of the binder thicker, but then I'd like have none in the bottom corner and it'd be really thin, and it drove me up the wall. It didn't look nice. Didn't please me. And that's when I came up with this system. And I have been using it ever since. I have adapted little parts. So I used to keep Ever Moment diamonds in a separate bag. In fact, I used to keep every kit diamonds in a separate bag. So I used to de-kit into bags. So into these bags, I'd just de-kit from a project and then I would just drop them in. So I ended up with quite a few bags, for example 310, it's always the one we go to, 310. I ended up with, 6 or 7 bags of 310 behind my little card that told me 310 were there. Same with 550, I think I ended up with a load of different bags in there. Then it came to the point where I was like, okay, there's now, too many bags for some colours. So I chose to combine the bags, and the first time I combined the bags, I kept a dye lot that was particularly different. I kept it separate. It was like, okay, that dye lot's too weird, too different, and therefore I could have maybe 3 or 4 bags separate. I used to, the diamonds that come in the little packets, I used to keep those separate. So I would actually put them into these baggies and store them with the loose ones. And I used to keep Ever Moment separate. So I could have 6, 7, 8 different bags for one colour if I had round loose, round in packets, square loose, square in packets. Then I'd have Ever Moment loose, Ever Moment in packets. And then I could have different dye lots as well, if it was one of those colours that never seemed to match. And then that, again, just became too many bags in one slot, taking up too much space. And that's when I decided Ever Moment was going in with everything else, and the packets were getting opened. They took up a lot less room just put into bags than they did in packets. And I must admit that has made kitting up a painting a lot easier, because now I open all the bags, and that's another thing I use these for. These are the ones that come in Ever Moment kits. I open all the packets, and if they don't fit in my little storage tub, the extras go into a little grip seal bag, and then they're used then for the painting to re-top up my storage, and I don't have to fight with opening those little plastic bags. I just do it all when I'm kitting up a painting, and then I don't have to think about it after that. In fact, I recently got some new bags on book rings from Amazon that I'm going to try when I kit up a project that doesn't just fit in the storage and has extras. I'm going to try using those grip seal bags and putting them on a little book ring to just keep all the diamonds for that project together. We'll see how it goes. Okay, 642. Are we getting there? Because I'm in the need of a brew. We're getting there. We'll plod on, because this memory card's going to save in a minute anyway. So I might just hit the save button now, plod on and get the 600s finished, and then the next time we'll be taking out of a box and moving into this box, which will be nice. It will be nice. Let me do this 642. Ooh. Be nice to see how much space I save by, even though I'm adding bags, so I'm adding empty bags for numbers that I don't yet have any diamonds, but I am taking away excess. It'll be interesting to see how much space I end up with at the end. Okay, 644. I'm very close to have nearly finished another 100 bag. There was definitely more in this row than there was in the others. I'm sure of it. I'm seeing the amount of bags stacked up next to me and I'm thinking, I'm sure that's more. But that's fine. You guys like the long videos anyway, I'm told. And I have, since I started doing this, I have wanted to try and do a longer one where maybe I do a couple of rows. It's just not worked out so far due to timings, but I think that's just because there's been so much other stuff going on with the shop that it's kept me busy. Right, let's see if we can get through this stack now in this next pack of 100. Do this 645 and then 646. I've already labelled up the round one. And if any of you saw the de-kitting, you'll have seen when I pinched it and did that one. Come on. Are we done? No. There we go. So that's 645 done. Oh, and that bag went completely sliding because I say it's got nothing to stop it. 646. So yeah, I hadn't had that colour before and I got it in a painting the other day. And because I'd already started this process, I did just label up just that bag. So that's the square one to go with it. And that's that one done. Oh, and that's why I didn't have 646 when I thought I had. I'd obviously put it back in the wrong place last time I did it. And this is another reason I'm hoping that just having 2 bags will help the process. Is every card should just be left with 2 bags. Okay, so I didn't need one after all. I thought it was a colour I'd had before, but I wasn't about to hunt through the whole box to try and find out why. And it's all worked out, because I'd have had to sticker it up anyway. Okay, 647. This is another popular colour. Get in the bag. 647. I think I'll get all the rounds in, but I don't think I'll get all the squares in. Though maybe I will. Because these are very, very full bags. And as I say, these take a little bit less, but I still think they take plenty. There's definitely a good few thousand in here. I have no idea exactly how many. That would be an epic time to take to count them all, but there is definitely a good few thousand diamonds. Okay, 648. Oh look, they're completely different colours in both of them. That's fine. So 648 in round and in square. I wonder how many more slats it will be in my spare storage until I finish this first sheet. Now I do have the 5/200s at the top that I did used to keep in the front, but then I decided to move to the last box. But not including that sticker, how many more rows or how many more videos, because I'm doing a video per row, how many more videos do you guys think it will take for me to finish this sticker sheet? It finishes at number 828, and to help, the next box is my 700s to 900s, and this box here that we're about to finish is my 100s to my 600s, and we're very nearly finished on my 600s. So we're up to the number that many people don't like, which is 666, which is a bright red. And I do know that my squares of this is in my Heaven and Earth designs. So that bag will get used when I don't need it for that project anymore. Get them to lay flat, helps them to stand up like soldiers. Okay, 676. Don't know if we're going to get through the whole bag of these baggies. I think we may end up with some left at the end of this video, but we'll definitely get through it on the next one. So if you're working along with me, at least you know by the end of this video you'll have gone through at least 100 baggies, which is good work. Nearly there. 677. Ooh. Getting hold of the sticker sheet. 677. It's like a pale yellow. It's a nice yellow actually. Get them all out. Okay, 2 more to go. So we've got 680, which in this case I've only got in squares. And that's the thing, you may not need, if you only do one type of diamond painting, so if you only do squares or you only do rounds, then it may be that you don't need the 2 sets, you just need the 1. Leave a bit of rubbish in the bag because we don't need to transfer rubbish. Sometimes it just happens. And then last but by no means least, we have number 699, of which I just have rounds in my spare storage. And then we'll have a look at how much space I've saved. Considering I have definitely added more bags. So let's have a quick look. Let's throw those over to the to do later pile. Let's pop those bags in there for next week. So they're sliding down at the moment, but that's because they've of course not got anything. But it's probably about a third, I'd say a third of the box we've saved. Now, extra diamonds that I've ended up with is quite a few actually. If I pull them out, they are all the diamonds that have come out of this box that aren't going back in, and that probably is what would take up that space. Probably be a bit of a squeeze, but I say we have added 2 bags per row per colour, so some of them did not have any bags in there at all and now they do, but I'm still quite impressed with that. say, I don't know how much it will get better. Put those away again. So the next box will be this one. So you can see there is quite a few here, quite a few. Well, 762 is probably just more on a weird angle, but these boxes were starting to get really full, and it, you know, it was getting a problem squeezing them in. So we will have to see sort of how it goes. On this last one though, that is all 376, and of course that will be going down to a lot less. 3865 as well. They're just the rounds, and there's loads of them. So we'll see how far. We'll see how far I can get them down to, and then I'll sort of decide from that point. I do need to be sort of a little bit careful with this box while it's not full, but it's an easy fix to pull them all back up. So I hope you'll join me next week, and we'll make a start on clearing out those 700s. I keep my sticker sheets ready, and maybe we'll get to the end of a sticker sheet, maybe we won't. I've got a feeling it might be a couple of videos away. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all again soon.